Yo, it's your boy Kengi checking in again, Mr. Tell the Truth. I'm heading to deliver a car. The lady bought it all the way from Brookhaven, Mississippi. My name is Kengi, Mr. Tell the Truth. I want to talk about that 2 hours and 40 minutes commitment based on whatever you want out of life, based on whatever you want to succeed at in life, based on how to stay committed to 2 hours, 40 minutes, or 24 hours a day. First thing first is you got to understand the power of commitment. The power of commitment comes from you telling yourself you're going to be under control of one way of thinking, one way of seeking the truth, one way of educating yourself based on the truth, based on what makes you happy, what makes you profitable, what makes you a person of influence, what makes you leave a legacy behind so you can give back to the generations. What inspires you the most? So the commitment comes from within, not from the out in. It's come from the in out. So when you decide to be committed to something, first you have to download it to the heart. You can speak it all day long, but if you don't say it to the conscious mind, it will never get downloaded to the subconscious of the mind, which is the heart, and you won't never produce, or you won't never succeed to the end. If you ever wonder why commitment is not given to the strongest or the swiftest or the fastest, it's always given to the one willing to endure to the end. So when you commit to something, no matter what you're going through, no matter the circumstances, it don't matter what you see, ain't always what it is, because you're going to go through so many tests. I call them tests. Most people call them trials and tribulation. Most people call them a setback for a comeback. But I call them tests. You're going to get tests. Life going to test you to see how bad that you really want, that you say what you want to be committed to. Because I remember a man named Job was a just man. And God knew in his heart that he was one of the men that would not turn his back against him. And the minute that he spoke those words, you know who came to see him. You know who came to see him. And one thing is, need to get in the road. One thing is, if you want to be committed to something, if you want to stay committed to something, it's not hard. It just, most people try to get to the finish line before they even get started. See, when we say we're going to work out, that becomes a New Year's resolution to every idea we come up with to add to us, to multiply us. We seem to get started about 2 months later. We seem to throw in the towel. We walk away from it because we don't see no results. But most of our thinking comes from the negative side of us seeing results based on the perception of other people. See, if you can see yourself in the end, in the present times of the beginning, focus on the end, not the beginning. I must repeat that. If you can see yourself in the end, in the present time of the beginning, focus on the end. How would you feel in the end? How would you walk in the end? How would you talk in the end? How would you become more profitable in the end? How would this add to you in the end? How would this divide you or subtract from you in the end? So you don't want to go through the test, or you don't want to go through the journey of being committed to something and it's going to subtract and divide from you. You must stay on the right side. You must focus on what adds and multiply. You must want to seek words, seek food that gives you energy. Most commitment are based on how you think in the heart. You can commit to something and make it a small commitment. Just say a week, 168 hours, you're going to commit to 30 minutes of educating or learning a new word that can be brought up in your vocabulary that make you feel a certain way. Make you feel like living, make you feel like you want to feel of joy, make you feel humble, make you feel with working on your patience. All these gifts that I'm telling you are free. It's just you got to practice it in your daily lives versus taking the low road. Let's start taking the high road. The high road is so simple, but the mind seems to tell you that it ain't gonna work. Nobody has never done it in your family. Or why do you want to do that? Or what do you want to do that for? Don't be fooled by the schemes and the scams of the principalities of the ways of the air. We all know who is the king of that. Focus on the positive side of the finish line. Everything that you have ever accomplished and done in your life up to this date is because you believed it in your heart, I guarantee you. Or you would have never accomplished it. Everything. Every birthday you ever had, you already saw yourself having another birthday, I guarantee. But you wasn't conscious of it because you were subconscious in the autopilot based on information that you download from 0 to 7 years old, or from 0 to 15 years old, from 0 however old you is. Those information been downloaded in your memory of the conscious of the mind to the heart, and that's what you keep playing over and over and over again. And you ever wonder how you all of a sudden come up with a thought and you never knows the thought came about, but you didn't think of it, but you find yourself doing exactly what you thought? It's because you're in autopilot. It's because information that you downloaded in the past. The past is created to predict the future, but you have to look into it from a different perspective based on the positive and the negative. If you see your past as a negative, you're going to become a negative person. I guarantee it in the future. But if you see your past as a positive, you're becoming a positive person based on how you think, based on what's in the heart, based on you're looking into it from a different perspective to where you can look at it, it's going to add to you or multiply you. That's why you always want to focus on what gives you energy, what makes you become fruitful and multiply. And this is Mr. Tell the Truth. 2 hours and 40 minutes, must stay committed, and I'm out. Peace.